The last Sims 4 update brought a supposed 150 bug fixes, but today we're shifting focus. I'm covering the top 15 most upvoted bugs under investigation right now. Now, to clarify, these are bugs that are currently under investigation status. That just means they are currently being looked at by Maxis, and of course they are not yet fixed, but they have made it past the initial troubleshooting and review phases. Now, of course, you know I'm not going to be covering everything, but I do feel like it is good to cover what is being upvoted so you understand what might be underreported. My goal here is not just to complain about Sims 4, as much fun as that is, but also just to let you know to direct you to these bug forums. Sims standing around instead of taking care of infants or toddlers, this received almost 1,400 upvotes. Whenever I play with infants, I end up having a very unpleasant experience because they're so problematic. When I ask my Sim to perform an action, they not only stand there for hours, but they also repeatedly take infants out of their cribs and put them on the floor. This bug is quite old and has never been fixed. And yes, I actually remember some people talking about this when infants first came out, believe it or not. Now, I personally have not had this bad of an experience with infants. There's been some strange things here and there, but I don't deny tons of people have issues. Also, standing around for hours could also be a general issue with simulation lag, but obviously there are issues with infants in particular. And in fact, this is a very bad sign. The bad sign is there are tons of infant-related issues with their own threads. These include Sims putting infants down before putting them in a crib, parents taking infants out of a crib for no reason, the check baby interrupts all attempts to care for a baby, and the game doesn't work properly when there's an infant in the household. Honestly, this is just so sad to see. It was great that the team added a new life stage, and I feel like a lot of people were excited for it, but unfortunately this is yet another reason I don't think Sims 4 should ever have preteens. I know a lot of people do want preteens in Sims 4, but this is a major reason why. We already have enough issues as it is, quite frankly, and unfortunately infants continue to be a huge problem. Second place, this next one is strangers in your conversation. This received 977 upvotes. Is it not possible to drastically reduce how many strangers come up to you to talk and partake in your conversation? You end up with a relationship panel crowded by strangers even though you never introduced yourself. And if you are flirting, everything will get awkward and fail. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like this is just a base Sims 4 issue. I don't see this as being resolved, and this is something that I think is very core to the foundation. It is interesting because there were some other people that also agreed with my take. This person said, this bug is happening since 2015. I generally think it's just a feature. This person added, my Sims have over 200 friends. They don't even have to speak to them either. The stranger only needs to appear in the area where the Sims appear. There's absolutely no way anyone can get the close-knit lifestyle unless you lock your Sims in a house and never let them leave. Not gonna lie, I have done that before. But anyway, they also mentioned the phone calls could be an issue. I will say phone calls in Sims 4 in general are just really over the top. I feel like phone calls are way too intrusive. So overall, I would not consider this a very serious issue in Sims 4. Sure, it's a little bit strange, it's a little bit annoying, but it is surprised to see it so far upvoted. The next one has an upvote of 911. Adults, teens, and children at work or school reload trying to skip work or school. They are all prompting them to come home, skipping school and work. I had one Sim on their home lot, a residential small business lot, and it did not reload. My other 4 Sims, an adult, 2 teens, and a child, were all at work, and immediately once the lot loads, the screenshots show what is popping up. To me, I almost wonder this has something to do with the residential small business and that messing things up too. I have actually covered bugs like this before, Sims simply skipping out work or school or just coming home immediately. So again, I think this is a broader issue and maybe it does depend on what packs you have. Sims wearing default underwear in shorts when naked, and this got an upvote of 850. Again, the ones that are currently under investigation with these upvotes are quite interesting. I will note this was reported over 2 years ago. When Sims are supposed to be nude or have more revealing clothing, the salmon-colored, hideous by the way, underwear from Cast Body Edit mode is showing. However, this person claims they know what triggers this bug. I know how it's triggered. You'll need a Sim using the shower or bath or being nude it's normal. save and exit and then re-enter the save and go to other lots and back, and then it occurs. Now honestly, some people will say it's CC related, but it's not. I did test it on multiple new saves with CC turned off. Unfortunately, the next one seems to be related to some other issues. Memorial portraits and graduation pictures showing up blank. This got an upvote of 728. The memorial portraits from the Life and Death expansion pack appear to be bugged as they no longer generate an image of the sim. And here we go, confirming those suspicions. Apparently, it is related to some similar issues. These include new autographs turning into family photos, photos and paintings turning blank, and of course, can't frame an autographed photo. So it seems to me that photography in the game is just really messed up right now. And in addition, I do know paintings are also bugged. Coming in next with almost 700 upvotes, eyes and eyelids. Since my bug report has been archived and lost in a deep mountain, I want to restart a new one. Tested with and without mods. I am a modder and an animator, and it seems eyelids don't translate correctly. And they do show us an animation on why it's not working. I did some animations with the eyelids moving down while the eyes are looking down. It impacts any animations in the game right now. However, potentially way more serious and more frustrating is interactions getting stuck. Interactions getting stuck in a queue earned 676 upvotes. I keep getting interactions I'm not longer doing getting stuck at the first time in my Sims queue. It's been happening for a while and I'm not sure when it started. Canceling the interaction just causes the interaction to display with an X through it. The only way I can clear this is by resetting the Sims or going to world management. Of course, what is a bug list without some gallery issues too? Server error uploading to gallery and library earned 665 upvotes. This is the text in the error message. Server error, we could not process this gallery request. Please try again later. I tried uploading the image from my phone, but I can't get my laptop to do so. Anyone having this problem? For me, it started after the burglar update. If you have this occasionally, there could be a workaround. This person recommended reinstalling the game. Do not move the Sims folder at Documents to Desktop and reopen the game and bring back Save and Delete Cache folder. Allow EA or the Sims through Internet at Firewall settings. Honestly, I don't totally understand this. It could be a connection issue. Let me know if you understand it because I don't really have any insights. This does appear to happen on both PC and console. Next up, earning an impressive 641 upvotes, Sims obsessively use objects. I'm gonna be real with you right now, I can see this happening in the third Sims game and maybe even occasionally in the second Sims game. Personally speaking, I don't feel this will be resolved and this is just something that happens in Sims games. But they said, I looked through the compiled list of bugs and didn't see this. So anyway, I'm so tired of having to delete every single computer in the house because it's all my Sims want to do. That said, however, as we know, this could happen with tons of different items. These items that Sims might get really focused on include bar, dance, listen to music, destroy the dollhouse, play woohoo thumbs up game, radios, cross stitch, spaceship, teapot, yoga mat, meditation stool, coffee machine, pressure cooker, ball, and conspiracy stall. These also don't just put anything in here. This is about object usage and a lot of issues have their own threads already. Now again, I don't know what to say about this. I'm not saying it's good. It is pretty annoying, but I have no idea why certain Sims gravitate so much or get so fixated on certain things. Let me know in the comments below, do you have an issue like this? And if so, which of these items or some other item do you notice the most? What I had a trouble with in the third Sims game was Sims just kept wanting to get into the pool. However, I will say when they were really focused on that, I had cheated their needs, and maybe that had something to do with it. The other item I had a problem with in the third Sims game was the trampoline. So like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I've had this issue especially in Sims 3, and yes, of course it happens in Sims 4 too. Next up, earning 577 upvotes is windows and doors glitch into walls. Now honestly, this is a big issue. It has been. I can't remember when this wasn't an issue, and I don't feel it happens all the time, but it definitely happens enough for people to get pretty annoyed. And to echo this, someone did add some insight. This simmer said, this was reported previously. It has been open for quite a while, but it was acknowledged by EA last year, and they asked for additional info and saves. They are aware of it, and as part of the bug report, players had 100%. So since then, it has been brought to their attention and hopefully it will be addressed. Certainly, I do hope it's addressed, but again, this is one of those issues I feel like just keeps continuing. And sadly, yet another potential symptom of simulation lag or something like it, the next one has 425 upvotes. Sims keep stopping or canceling out their actions to do other things. My Sims will no longer perform actions unless I instruct them to do so multiple times. They say this started happening on June 1st of 2025. Some examples: my Sim stops cooking to practice writing, or the second one, my Sim stops taking care of her baby to listen to music. Now see, this is where it gets really complicated because we know there are problems with infants and babies. This is when I get worried because it's not just one bug, but it's how code is connected overall. I'm certainly no expert, but this is where I feel like we are in big trouble in terms of focusing on fixing bugs in Sims 4. And now, coming in with 409 upvotes, disappearance of pets and horses in pre-made households. When starting a new game and visiting the worlds of Chestnut Ridge and Brindleton Bay, all households with pets or horses will lose their animals. And someone echoed, I'm playing the console version on PlayStation 5 and I'm having the same problem. Upon starting new save files, looking at the households from Cats and Dogs and Horse Ranch will show their thumbnails, but they simply aren't there. Again, this is one of those issues where I have no idea why it's happening. I will admit I haven't tried a new save file for a while in Cats and Dogs. I don't own Horse Ranch, so I definitely could test this out and see if I experience this too. The next one has 379 upvotes, and it's just the Sim keeps putting an infant down before putting them in a crib. And like I said before, that is connected to that other master bug. Heading towards our final ones, this one has 272 upvotes. Sims talk but still require introduction interaction. When my Sim starts talking with someone else, I feel like they have a multitude of interactions they can perform. However, I hate when I click on the other Sim for the first time and they still have to do an introduction. Again, I would say this is weird, this is annoying, I'm not saying it shouldn't be fixed, but is it a top priority? Probably not. And finally, rounding up the top 15 so far, fairies with altered skin tone can cause the game to crash. That is, if you have an unlinked form from the fairy to the human form. This I do remember being reported when Enchanted by Nature first came out, and I would say this is actually pretty serious because it is causing crashing. Now again, I hope all these are fixed, but it is interesting to see what makes it to the top and what doesn't. Again, remember this is just under one status, so that doesn't mean there aren't other bugs being upvoted very heavily. These are just the most upvoted right now that are currently under investigation. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you experienced any of these bugs? Are you surprised or not surprised? As always, thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.